All right, hey guys, back again with our second unintended consequence, our second waste product of putting this type of person, this type of animal into a society, and it is bigotry. I told you when we dealt with apathy that the problem that we were focused on here was the symbolic universe of a society like ours for a human being who evolved to be in a simple society. So we were talking about the quantity of symbols that this person had to deal with. Now we're going to talk about the quality of symbols, or in other words, how particular symbols are defined. First, let's deal with just a general definition of bigotry. It is treating people of a particular social location as inferior. You can pause and get that definition if you need to. Remember when we talked about the symbolic universe a long time ago, we talked about how social locations or socially important personal attributes held meaning. We talked about the fact that those meanings, the way a society defines them, are stereotypes. And what we're dealing with now is the fact that those stereotypes are leading to treating people as inferior. Now, this is not like apathy may have come as a little bit of a wake-up call to you to have to contemplate how you experience other people's suffering. Bigotry is this one is obvious to most of us. What's important to understand is that, again, this person evolved to be in small, homogeneous groups. Now what we have is a huge population, and it's very diverse, which means this person who, also, I guess the other thing about this person, in addition to being in small, homogeneous groups, this person, because we were not like the apex predators out on the savannah, this person had to be specifically attuned to differences in their environment. What is that thing that I see over there a rock? Is that thing that I see over there a lion? It makes a difference. I have got to be able to distinguish between things. Well, we didn't lose that tendency toward being suspicious of difference when we suddenly started creating big, elaborate, diverse societies. We still have that. And that's where this idea of bigotry comes from. Now, importantly, that doesn't mean that bigotry has to happen. I'm a white guy saying this, so it's sort of easy for me because I'm a white man, so I don't face bigotry. I've never faced bigotry in my life. I would argue, at least theoretically, it doesn't have to happen. And we have tons and tons of evidence that it doesn't have to happen. Every interracial friendship, every interracial marriage is evidence that there's nothing about this species that says it has to be bigoted. There's nothing inevitable about it. But the possibility of bigotry, based on this person being suspicious of difference, based on the fact that we now have a population that is diverse, that possibility of bigotry probably is inevitable. And so if we don't like it, what we have to do is be able to figure out how we are going to define different social locations actively. We can't, and we'll see this in a documentary that we're going to see later on in the semester, we will see the difference between arguing that we should be colorblind with the idea that we have to acknowledge the fact that there are different social locations. But if we define them actively, not by default, but if we define them actively as equal, as having equal potential to be wonderful, then we are at least in the process of being able to diffuse that possibility of bigotry. Okay, so what we've got is a second waste product. If you put this human being into a diverse society, you're still going to have the intended consequences of thoughts and behaviors that come out in a patterned way. But one of the unintended consequences, again, I'm kind of saying it's not inevitable, but we see it in every society, is this idea of people defining social locations in a negative way and then treating them in a discriminatory fashion. I think that might be everything I got. That's everything I got for that one. All right, so what we've done is we've dealt with the quantity of symbols, and now when the quantity of symbols leads to apathy, the quality, the specific definitions that happen to some social locations lead to bigotry. Where we're going to move next is into problems that stem from the collective consciousness. So we'll deal with, first of all, the quantity of beliefs and then the quality of a particular belief. We'll do those in the next couple videos, so I will see you guys then.